Welcome to Activated Creative Podcast. I'm your host. My name is CJ. If you're asking yourself, why are you here? What is the point of this? This is a podcast about creatives and what drives us as creatives, what brings us joy, what activates us, what are we passionate about? Because on this podcast, passions are prominent. I believe a creative mind is an open mind, and an open mind breeds opportunity. What's the old saying that people always tell you, when you're younger, is you can do whatever you put your mind to, right? You could be whatever you want to be. Life is what you make it. That's something I truly, truly believe in. If you think about it, life is pretty much a sum of all the decisions that we make, right? What do we spend our time doing? What do we allow to consume us? Not only what we consume, but what consumes us. The time that we spend, the people that we spend it with, the things that we're doing on a regular basis. We truly do build up this life that we have, that we live. And something that I know as a creative that I struggle with, and I'm sure that others do as well, is kind of stepping out of our own way and learning how to get away from our fears and our insecurities that we have so that we can move forward, that we can get from point A where we're at to point B, the destination of living a life that we can truly be proud of, a legacy that we want to leave behind, something that we can be proud to show our families and our loved ones, the focus that it takes, the drive that it takes to get to those points and to reach these milestones. But that's something that we're going to be exploring on a regular basis here, having conversations with each other. And, I want to bring some guests on as well in the future and kind of enlighten us about different aspects. I myself, I do a lot of graphic design, 3D modeling, as well as photography and filmmaking. And those are things that I'm passionate about. And they kind of feed off of each other. If I'm doing photography, then I might be thinking about a setting that I'm in and being like, oh, this might be great for a film, or vice versa. And, life is one big inspiration. So how many times do you go out and you get inspired by movies and music and different art pieces that you see or people that you talk to? People in themselves are characters, right? And life is a movie. You get to pick the setting. You get to pick the people that are in it. So all of that kind of drives home to say, what kind of life are you building? Are you being as creative as you possibly can? And if not, then why not? And being creative, I don't think necessarily needs to be put in a box as being confined to artsy. I don't think you necessarily have to draw or paint or dance or sing or do any of those things to truly be creative. There's you could look all over the internet. You could probably talk to a lot of people out in society that have a career that they've built for themselves just off being creative. And they found things that, people needed or people were interested in. And they thought, I'm going to use my skill set and I'm going to bring this idea to life, right? To create a solution. If you are thirsty, then you reach for what? A beverage that a company came up with as a solution. They were creative enough to make a product called Coke, Sprite, juices and smoothies and all other things that quench your thirst. Think about it. Like, you got to be creative to a certain extent, and it doesn't necessarily mean you know how to draw or paint. I think it all starts with lifestyle design, right? I think in order to truly know where you want to go, you got to know where you've been. You have to be able to say to yourself, okay, I've already experienced this. I already know what this is like. I like this. I don't like this. Let's add this, remove that, a little salt, a little pepper, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, right? That's all a part of lifestyle design. Kind of got to take a minute to reflect and ask yourself, what is it you really want out of life? What do you want to achieve with your time? We should all be excited for what the future holds and what we could potentially do with ourselves. And the inspiration that we gain from others should be just as important as the inspiration that we give to others. You got to be wanting to give with the intention on solely giving, not giving with the intention to receive something, right? Because that's not genuine. You got to want to do something because you want to do it. How different is it when you go somewhere to a party, to an event or something, you actually want to be there versus, oh, I'm only here because I got to be, or because I'm with so-and-so and they're my right. You know what I mean? The energy's different. The feeling's different and the passion is different. more than likely will have a good time if you want to be there, if you want to actually do what you're doing. Another point I want to touch on real quick is, do you believe in meant to be's? When someone says they see somebody doing well, right? Like an athlete or an actor or somebody like that, and they're like, man, they're really good at what they do. They were meant to be that. They were born to be that. They were destined for greatness. Do you guys believe in that? I'm not so sure that I do. I don't think anybody was born to do something. You know what I mean? Because actions is what dictates your current situation, right? Where you're at in life right now is a sum of all your actions. The people you chose to be around, the career that you've had, the way that you treat people, the way that you treat yourself. All of that, it sums up the current situation, right? So I don't necessarily believe anybody was born to do anything. I don't think anybody was born to be great or meant for greatness. I think we're all capable of greatness. We're all capable of doing amazing things in life. But what's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So you have to be willing to choose every day. What are you passionate about? Okay, now you got to be willing to choose to do that every day. You have to be getting out of bed with the intention of, I'm going to achieve this today, even if it's a small step. One step or a baby step is better than no steps at all, right? You don't want to be stagnant when it comes to making progress, because how else are you going to make progress if you're just thinking about it? You're just in your head all the time. And I know that's a lot of things creatives, myself included, we kind of get stuck in our head, right? We're battling ourselves. We become our own worst enemies because we can't seem to get out of our own way. Basically living with nightmares more than we are our dreams. If you truly want to live the life that you want to live, who's going to do it? No one's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to put the pieces together. So you got to be willing to choose every day what it is you want to go after. What do you want to spend your time doing? Because in the end, you know, there's a lot of people that'll console you. They'll pat you on your back like, it's all right. I'm sorry that happened. It's all right, man. It'll get better. But they'll only feel that way for a certain amount of time because we all have our own problems. Let's face it. So who in the end is really going to benefit, or who's really going to suffer if you don't do exactly what you want to do with life? So that all ties back into lifestyle design. You got to step back and reflect, ask yourself and dig deep and be honest about what it is you want to do with your life. Those are a few things that I want to leave you guys with. On the next episode, I definitely want to dive in a little bit deeper, get a little bit more specific about certain passions. Like I said, I'm going to be having some guests on as well, just to kind of, bring a little bit more broad light to the subject and to the brand of being an activated creative. I don't necessarily want to just stick to one topic, because there's not just one topic in the world. There's not just one passion or one talent or one skill set in the world. There's a lot of us here, and there's a lot of us that are passionate and doing great, unique, amazing things every single day. I hope that you guys are doing well out there in the world. I know these are crazy times that we're dealing with right now, but just remember, get creative, learn to get out of your own way, and let's dig deep. Let's get to work. All right, I thank you guys again. I'll see you next time. Till then, stay activated.